Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Keith. You're a man of letters, here to bring you knowledge, information, and hopefully, at the very least, a working audio for the stream because you know how the archons be these days. Anywho, we're talking about Beastars tonight. I thought we'd do some cool stuff. I've been, we're into our anime, and I've been really enjoying Beastars, and I've been trying to wrap my head around it and what does it mean and what are they getting at. Also, my eyes getting a little better. Do you see that, you guys? Still looks pretty gnarly, huh? Should I put my glasses on? Is that too gnarly? Or should I just rock it without the sunglasses? Greetings, Oath. How's it going, brother, sister? Cheers. Okay, here's the question that's essential to what we're going to be watching tonight. This is a... So, in this evening's stream, we're diving into Beastars. It's not just a show about anthropomorphic animals on Netflix. We're going deeper as we do. We're gonna try to talk about some alchemical concepts and see if Beastars is an alchemical concept or if it is a perversion of an alchemical concept. The dangerous line between self-control and self-denial. What happens when we're told to deny parts of ourselves that are natural? Is it growth? Or is it control of the masses? Because y'all know how Netflix be sometimes. So we're going to do our best to break this down. We're going to do our best to break this down. With one of the central themes being, what does it mean to deny your nature? Can you ever truly grow if you're suppressing the deepest parts of who you are? First of all, leave a comment down if you even know what Beastars is. If you're into anime, I'm super into anime. Not as much as I would like to be, but I'm catching up. So Beastars is a show where predators, they're anthropomorphic animals, so they're predators. There's herbivores and carnivores, right? But they live amongst each other. Rabbits live with wolves, live with deer, live with bear, live with alligators, live with hawks, live with frogs, toads, like whatever. And the idea is the carnivores are forced to shut off their instincts and who they are in order to fit in with society. They're forced underground if they want to consume meat, but they're also super frowned upon. It's this way. The idea is they're trying to relate it to systemic bias and systemic racism and systemic prejudice, a sort of satire on our world. But I'm not necessarily sure it's a satire on our world as much as it might be low-key propaganda. As much as it might be low-key propaganda. Oh, you haven't seen it? It's fantastic. Well, so some spoiler alerts. If you guys haven't seen it, you'll still enjoy the conversation because we're basically talking about in alchemy. The goal is to refine the character, to start at the base, the chaos, the pure potential, and refine that into something of a higher manifestation, higher frequency, or higher degree, or whatever you want to call it. My eye is still so bad. I feel self-conscious. I might put my glasses back on. I got hit with a piece of wood while I was splitting wood the other day and went to the ER, so it's better every day, but so it's still pretty gnarly. I think you guys would like it. I honestly think you guys should check it out. If you're into anime, it's a good one. There's some like it's weird. I like it. It's a little weird. It's intimate. It's a love story between a rabbit and a wolf takes place. It's odd. It's definitely a fringe on the border of some interesting philosophies on human and animal nature. Anyway, let's get into it. But for real though, hang on to that question. One of the questions is, well, so let's set the stage. I guess let's set the stage. So Beastars is an allegory for societal structure and the tension between instinct and morality. Alchemy is a process of refining the self, but self-denial isn't part of true alchemical transformation. It's not necessarily denying the self, but refining the self. So, the anime Beastars gives us this world where carnivores are told that their natural instincts, eating meat and eating herbivores and even eating each other in some cases, that it's wrong, and so that it's that's not about refinement. When we're talking about alchemical transformations, which we would like to allude to, this is not it. This is not a refinement. This is a straight up denial, or at least that's what I'm presenting. So in alchemy, the goal is to elevate what's already inside of you, not to erase it. So we're trying to figure out what is the true message behind Beastars, the Netflix movie. Is it some more Netflix propaganda? I swear, I might have gone off the deep end. I don't think I have, but Netflix is on another level, and I'm not necessarily convinced that they're putting out stuff simply for entertainment. I believe I believe Netflix puts things out to persuade the public to think, feel, and act certain ways. This show being one of them. All their shows being them to a degree, especially the ones that Netflix themselves put out. So for example, in one spot, like most things, when you deny an aspect of humanness, it doesn't go away. It just manifests in dark places. So in the show, it shows that very nicely, right? It definitely shows a lot of truth. There's this scene where they're in the black market. The carnivores go underground, risking everything for what their biology demands. It's not growth, it's repression, and repression always finds a way out. And obviously, we know dark things fester in this world when they don't have a healthy outlet for expression. And that's what alchemy is about. That's why we study alchemy. That's why we read our books on chaos magic. That's why we study hermetics. And that's why we read the Kabbalion and Emerald tablets. And we do all these things because we don't want to repress emotion. We want to refine emotion. We want to see the origin of these emotions and see if these emotions are serving us, if they are destroying us, or if they're doing both. Because in reality, our emotions are doing both. At one point in our lives, our emotions were there to save us, to protect us, and then they got out of control, and now they're destroying us. So it's a refinement of our emotions, a refinement of our raw attributes, our raw character traits. That's the goal, a refinement. So after that, another scene. So we have the black market, which shows one aspect of suppressing innate natural tendencies. The next, our main character, who's a wolf, who's been suppressing his appetite this whole time. Might I add that one of the things that this show does is it shows moral virtue and suppressing aggression and suppressing passion, moral virtue and suppressing our natural tendencies. And again, that's a slippery slope as well. I mean, if I were an ultimate evil ruler overlord and I wanted the population to remain subordinate and I wanted the population to remain under my control, I would put out a show like Beastars that says, hey, there's moral virtue in suppressing your anger and suppressing your passion and suppressing the raw emotions that make up yourself. Again, the goal is refinement in alchemy and spirituality, not suppression, refinement. So our main character, the wolf boy, Legoshi, his name is Legoshi, starves himself to win a fight, and it's framed as noble. So he starves himself to win a fight, and it's framed as noble. But what kind of victory is it when you have to destroy yourself to succeed? This isn't strength. This is submission. Right? You have to submit, which to a degree is true. To a degree is true. when nuance is allowed to enter the conversation. That's what let me. All right. Scene 3. I'm setting up scenes for you guys. So scene 1 was the black market, right? Repressed emotion comes out in dark ways. What better dark way to be portrayed in the show than a black market where the carnivores have to go to eat meat? The second scene was he fights this bear, but he fights the bear by starving himself, right? So he basically denies his own nature, and that's framed as the noble thing to do in the show. The third scene is the wolf boy and his bunny girlfriend. He falls in love with a bunny and vice versa. It's a very weird relation. It's fascinating. I really enjoyed the show. I'm still enjoying the show, but that doesn't mean that we can't look with critical eyes, with to perceive with critical eyeballs, even if one of those eyeballs is still blurry and you can't see out of it from the damage of the wood. We'll use our third eye. So the relationship is complex because Legoshi's struggle isn't just about hunger, it's about connection, which is the driving force behind a lot of demonic forces, we'll call them. The lack of connection, the need for connection, the lengths we will go through to find that connection. When you deny your instincts, you also deny your ability to truly connect with others. So is that really the goal of growth? I don't know. I don't know. These questions aren't necessarily rhetorical. Feel free to answer them. So this is where it gets heavy. So maybe Beastars isn't just about self-control, our anime show. But maybe it's about self-denial. And that's where propaganda comes in. I'm playing devil's advocate here. Who benefits when we're told to deny aggression, hunger, or ambition? It's easier to control someone who's taught to suppress their nature, right? It's much easier to control someone that's taught to suppress their nature. To teach someone moral virtue is being harmless. It's not, by the way, it's not. There's no virtue in being harmless. So this isn't just about wolves eating meat. It's about humans being told that their drive or their passions are dangerous. If that doesn't raise some questions, I'm not sure what will. We can take a quick break there. I want to address the chat. If you guys are just coming in, hi, my name's Keith Maniletters. We're going, I thought we'd do something fun and something new today. We're talking about maybe do some pop culture. I do like pop culture a lot. So I'm going to start integrating it more with alchemy on this channel because pop culture is a fantastic way to see how alchemy plays out in this sort of global societal consciousness. One as a reflection of society as a whole, and two, what the archons are trying to do to program society. Because they say that movies and books are a reflection of the goings on in society, but I think a lot of the time, especially when Netflix is involved, I believe that a lot of it has to do with programming society to be a certain way. Let me see. Tap in to the comment section. Give me all the spoilers. Okay, sounds interesting, but I don't watch TV. I think my niece liked them. I'll check it out over the holidays. It sounds similar to Zootopia. I haven't seen Zootopia, but I think I know what you're talking about. Alex Fatality 98. Hello, Alex Fatality 98. Fatality. Do you like Mortal Kombat? Okay. This is honestly speaking to me, man. I understand. I recently got an eye injury too. I got my eye caught on a zip tie. Oh man. I'm sorry to hear that, Alex Fatality. Yeah, I was splitting wood and I wasn't using the wood splitter right. And oh man, a piece came back. It jumped up and bit me. Came back and hit me right in the eye. Sent me to the ER for the day. It was awful. Wholeness, Keith. Wholeness, goddess, essence, energy. Thank you guys all. Come on in, take your shoes off, stay a while. Everyone slap that like button. The like button is right there. I'll hit it too. The like button is right there next to next to the share button. Don't hit the dislike button, though. Hit the like one. What happened to your eye? Dan the Dingo! Most definitely. I think so too. When I go back and watch old shows, early 2000s, 2016, they all reflect right now, so it's funny how it works, the seedling. Don't give up. Don't give up on what, Bedrock? I won't, but don't give up on what? Yeah. Oh, Jow Noons, you've been hit in the eye with a piece of wood you were trying to split? I know, I was gonna wear it. It looks a lot better, believe it or not, but I was gonna wear my sunglasses, but at the same time, I don't know. Does it look hideous? Should I wear my sunglasses or should I just rock the eyeball and say fudge it? Don't give up on streaming. I'll help you. Oh, me too, man. Me too, Bedrock. That's been the dream for years now. We'll get there, I think. We are there. We are popular. Look at us. We got 9 people in the room killing it. Thank you guys for hanging out and being here. And we learned in the process. So thank you guys for the support, seriously. Was it bad? Always use safe glass. Yes, I will certainly use safety glasses from now. Hello, Boofing. Hello, Boofing. Man, was yours bad too? Mine, I don't have any permanent damage, but look at the laceration under my eyeball. Pretty gnarly. It's sliced the white under my eye and scraped off like a third of my cornea. All superficial, but it was still pretty gnarly. Rock the eyeball. Super gnarly, dude. I'm gonna put out a video in a couple days. I took video while I was in the ER, all delirious and shit. And then I took a video after the ER when I got home. And then I did some follow-up videos just to sort of see the progress for my own sake. And I'll put it out. It's pretty gnarly. Some of the images are, I'm gonna have to put one of those disclaimers at the beginning of the video that says, disclaimer, this is not for the easily nauseated, because it's pretty intense. All right, yours healed fine. Good, glad to hear it. Just take care in time. Yeah, super blessing, super blessing. Okay, we're rocking the eyeball oath. Any questions? Have you guys watched Beastar? Am I speaking to, like, you know, the pulpit right now, or am I speaking to the choir? Thank you, Rachel, for the health. Thank you. It's been healing extraordinarily fast. Like, the swelling is almost mostly down. You know, I can open my eye again. But if you're just checking in, hello, my name's Keith. We're talking about Beastars. And low-key, I think it's a way to pacify, or what I think what this show was meant to do insidiously is to confuse the population, at least the young adults and the early adult population, the millennials and down, are to confuse them into what is morally right, morally wrong. What does it mean to be true to yourself? Are we refining our nature, or are we denying our nature? I watched some scenes. Jow. Am I pronouncing your name? Jow Nunez? All right, so we're getting into the alchemical perspective now. So we're gonna try and contrast suppression with transformation, because that's a good show. Teaches refinement, transcending, you know, the states of the lower chaos into the more refined states of order to a degree, right? Order to a degree. There's always going to be chaos and there's always going to be order, but we want to raise the degree of manifestation of order and chaos. We can't escape law, but we can rise above it, in other words. So this next section is going to be to do that. We're going to try to contrast suppression with transformation. So in alchemy, you take what's inside and refine it into something greater. You don't destroy the lead, you turn it into gold. Beastars, on the other hand, suggest you should deny the lead altogether. That's not transformation. That's erasure. And erasure is not evolution. We don't evolve by denying aspects of ourselves. We evolve through them. Most importantly, or maybe not most importantly, but I've tried to play devil's advocate to my own viewpoint, and devil's advocate is, well, it's an allegory, because people struggle with who they are in the real world, and this lets them empathize with the struggle of, I am a certain way, but I can't act on that. because society will look down upon it, which is fair. That's a total thing. We all experience that. You know, we want to be goofy, but we don't want people to look at us funny. We want to take a certain career, but we don't want to be disowned by our parents. We want to marry someone, but they're a different religion than we are. Right? There's so many things that come up in our world that say, "Hey, you can't act that way because you need to fit in with society." So I get that, which is why philosophies that are presented, like the one in Netflix's Beastars, are so compelling, and why we attach to them so much, because this is the tales as old as time, so to speak. It's a tale as old as time. However, the translation doesn't make any sense, right? Because you're there in the show. They're asking carnivores to become vegetarians and utterly destroy their nature and who they are, to the point where they lose themselves and they go psycho. Um, so how is that an allegory? How is denying the very fabric of what someone is? This isn't, oh, I like, oh, I want to be a cheerleader instead of a football player. This is, oh, I want to breathe underwater instead of live on land. You know what I mean? It's in the same ballpark. It's the same thing, but the degree of manifestation is light years different. So that's where we're at, and that's the conversation we're trying to have. That we're trying to bring up with Beastars. I'm always trying to pick holes in what Netflix presents us with, because Netflix, y'all, is always on another level, and they be propagandaing hard. Is that a word? Propagandaing? How do you use propaganda as a verb? They done been propagandaing to propaganda. They have been to propaganda. How do you conjugate that? Anyway, point being, I don't trust them. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them, and I don't think you can touch Netflix as an entity, which means you can't throw them very far at all. Okay, let me go back into the comment section. Truthfully, never heard of it. It's okay, boofing. That's okay. Watch some scenes. It has some action. A lot of sexual themes. I wasn't sure if I could talk about that because YouTube. Bless up. It also has the predator animals versus herbivore animals dynamic. Yes. Darker story themes. It's definitely kind of dark. Propagandize. There you go. Is that propagandize? Okay, that's it. There we go. Macanathar Grian. Macanathar Grian. That reminds me, I think the next episode of Outlander is on. I know. I understand it's not spiritual to watch TV shows and stuff, but I watch TV shows and stuff, so sue me. I actually really enjoy. I enjoy a good fantasy. I enjoy disappearing into other worlds. Maybe it's do Piscean folk get a free pass for losing themselves in video games and stories and stuff like that, because I do all the time. It's one of my favorite pastimes, is to actually dissolve into a good TV show or movie. Which is why I'm probably gonna start making more videos like these, because when I'm in a world, I'm in it. And when I was in the world of Beastar, I'm like, wait, this is a dark world and this doesn't make any sense. If this were our world, it would be terrible. There's no allegory that show could bring over into our world where we can empathize with them. Like I said, the allegory would be like saying, hey, Keith, you need to deny your nature of breathing air and go live underwater. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's ridiculous. I don't care what society thinks of me breathing air or breathing water. I'm not going to do it because I have lungs that breathe air, that pull oxygen from air, not gills that pull oxygen from water. So what they say is, when I look it up, oh, it's an allegory because the world goes through, if there's no acceptance in the world and we're learning how to accept one another. Bullshit. Get out of here with that, Netflix. I'm not buying it for 2 seconds. That is a dark, twisted, entertaining, and I hope people see through the nonsense, but I see it, flicks. I do. Vivian, hello. I'll be in and out tonight. Will you do your thing, Vivian? We'll be in tonight for the most part. The secret vessels of the alchemist are the organs of his own body, together with their etheric astral counterparts, born a king. I like these videos. Me too. We'll do more. Your pronunciation of my digital name was beautiful. Thank you. Oh, thank you too. What is wrong with your eyeball? Have you been missing it, Vivian? I hit myself in the eye with a piece of wood. I was splitting wood. I was getting my lumberjack on, and a piece came back and hit me in the eye. And right now we just look like we got in a fight with Mike Tyson. That's what's wrong with your eyeball. I miss Supernatural. Oh, I'm actually rewatching Natural like for the 3rd time. I think I'm on season 4. Maybe we'll do some. I mean, I named this channel after Supernatural. That's how much I like TV shows. Man of Letters was literally taken directly from the TV show Supernatural. So it only makes sense that maybe we will. Maybe we'll dive into Supernatural. You almost lost your finger splitting wood? Oh my God. So splitting wood is just a terrible thing then, huh? We all got to be more careful. All right, I've got some questions and comments for you guys. Maybe this is for someone not in the live chat. Maybe this is for someone watching after when they have more time. But I'm curious, who thinks? Do you think self-denial is the same as self-control? And how that pertains to alchemy and refining the spirit and refining the soul? Or I'm trying to think of parallels, but to the real world, but I don't see any. Anywho, Beastars is a show. It's a show that makes you think, but not just about the world of carnivores and herbivores. It makes you think about what it means to be human. If we're told to deny our instincts, are we really growing? I think if we are taught to deny our instincts, we are being controlled. True growth comes from refining who we are, not erasing it. And that's the alchemy we should all be striving for. I'm not sure why Jordan Peterson gets so much heat. I actually feel sad because I was able to get so much from the teachings of that human, and then I found out way late in the game that everyone hates him. Well, everyone on the left hates him, which is a strange thing. It's gotten political. I'm neither left nor right, to be fair, or middle. I believe that's a whole nother conversation. Point being, he said something that blew my mind. And it's something that we come across that I've talked about a number of times, but the way he phrased it was wonderful. He says that there's no virtue in being harmless. That if you have the capacity for ultimate terror, for ultimate destruction, and you don't, that's virtue. But to deny your own instincts for so long that you are a shell of what human was supposed to be, if you've negated your passions, if you've negated your anger, all these quote-unquote lower emotional states, you know, they say like, oh, anger, like they show that ridiculous chart. Have you ever seen that spiritual chart that shows like the frequency of emotions? First of all, what the fuck is that based in? What do you mean anger is lower? Like, are you actually hooking someone up? Is there tests? Not that I don't believe it, but are there tests for that? Point being, any emotion can be used to create or destroy. Some have tendencies for destruction more than creation. Some have tendencies for creation more than destruction. Some are sustainable, like joy and love. Some are not sustainable, like jealousy and hatred or anger. But that doesn't mean they all can't be refined to a degree of manifestation higher than they were before. And that's what we got to do as alchemists. We got to take the anger that we had before that manifested in a terrible way and refine that anger in such a way that it can catalyze an aspect of our life for the better, right? And then eventually maybe transmute it altogether. What made us angry before no longer makes us angry because we've been able to alchemize so many positive circumstances out of that anger that now when that anger is again triggered, we go, oh my God, this again? Like if I could think of an example, like say you're a boxer or something, and you know you're 10-0, and if every one of those 10 fights your opponent was talking trash, calling you names, you know, doing the thing, and at first you're like, oh fuck that guy. Oh man, he's talking trash. Like, oh, I'm gonna talk trash back. And you get in your head and you're riled up in the anger. Let's say you use that anger and you train harder, and you use that anger to train further. You use that anger to refine your body, your physical mind, and you do that 10 times. The 11th fight, someone talks trash to you again. Are you gonna be upset? No, because you refined your anger so much. You didn't deny your anger. You refined that anger so much that by the time that 11th person comes by and says your mama sucks, you literally laugh, which is the ultimate transmutation of emotion. We actually learned that in our chaos magic studies, which I really enjoyed. How laughter is the ultimate transmutation. You go, all right, I've been here before. You're talking trash about my mama. What? It's probably because it's all you got, or whatever. You laugh because you've been there before. It's not a big deal, and now the anger is completely gone. Not a denial, a refinement. Not a denial, a refinement. There is no Beastars. If you're coming in here and you're like, oh, Beastars, I know that show. I don't think many of you have watched it, but maybe this video will take off after we post it, and all the people who do watch it will see and be like, look it. There's no benefiting humanity in denying who we are, denying our passions, and denying our angers. We don't evolve through denying shit. We don't. We evolve through transmutation. At least that's the goal. I'm going back to the comment section. Hello everyone, if you're just coming in, my name's Keith. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be, if you like pop culture / alchemical, conversations, hey, this is your spot, man. If you like supernatural, this is your spot. If you like alchemy, this is your spot. If you like herbology and the mystic arts, this is your spot. If you like tea, this is your spot. Thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna go over you guys' questions now. We just finished like 90% of the lecture. I'm sure I can cook up some more stuff, but I basically got the nitty gritty. Now let's go over you guys' comments. Please ask all the comments, all the questions, or just share whatever you want to share. I'm gonna look over here at my computer because my right eye is still super blurry and I can't see my phone. I need bigger text. Whoever almost lost their finger splitting wood. What's going on with wood cutting at the moment? The Arabic base root of the word for alchemy and chemistry meant pouring or infusion. So dangerous. Love them. Hell yeah. Are they any different from each other? Are what any different from each other? I know what we were talking about. Yes, maybe before. The fire of alchemy is said to be the secret fire, often so compared to a serpent or dragon. A fiery force, yoga. So okay, could be, but if you deny truth of some aspect of yourself, it's almost opposite of self-control. It could be, but if you deny truth of some aspect of yourself, it's almost opposite of self-control. Could you go deeper into that, good sir? Could you go deeper into that, dope sauce? I like him. You're not the first who hasn't wore their safety glasses over the years. Last person was a piece of metal shavings. Ouch. Learn your lesson. Any glasses are better than none. Yes, Vivian. Yes. I swear, so many people are like, well, you should have been wearing your glasses. And I'm like, well, no shit. No one wears safety glasses ever. I know. Like, look at my eyeball. I'm well aware that I should have been wearing safety glasses. I also should have been using the tool properly. That's part of the problem too. Always use the tools the way they were intended to be used. And if you're not using them, then take extra precaution. Thank you, Vivian. Once posted, I'll watch from beginning. Being harmless is a facade. Yes. Those who are experts in the play of power look harmless. Those who are experts in the play of power look harmless. Ooh, that's well worded. I love that. Nice, Joe. Think about it like this. If you can have one drink and not whole six-pack and enjoy the taste and sensation. Pit canna. Well said. Well said. I wrote a book on alchemy called 7 Pillars, A Handbook for Existence. And I use the example of, like someone getting trapped on an island. If say someone's trying to quit smoking cigarettes and they get trapped on an island. And they come back and say, well, I haven't had I kicked my smoking addiction. I went cold turkey. It's like, well, yeah, you went cold turkey. You were on a deserted island. There were no cigarettes, so you had no choice. So what's more meaningful, the person that kicks the smoking habit when they don't have a chance to smoke, or the person that kicks the smoking habit when they have every chance in the world to smoke? Things have no meaning if their opposite isn't around. Things have no meaning if courage means nothing if fear isn't present. You know what I mean? Love is meaningless if hate isn't present. It's not courageous of me to go skydiving because I love that. I mean, I've only been once, but I would love to do it again. Like I'm not courageous for going on roller coasters. I love roller coasters, but someone who's terrified of roller coasters, you know what I mean? We exist upon that which resists us. I say that all the time, and I still don't know who said that. It was either Alan Watts or I got it from the Emerald Tablets. I can't remember. Like Emerald Tablets and Alan Watts arts are interwoven into my brain stem cells at this point. But you guys get my point. You get my point. Again, with Beastars, the message was the society completely denied, the carnivores completely denied meat. Right? That's not an allegory to you know, I wish I could be myself to fit in. No, that's an aspect of, that's like saying you can't breathe air, Keith. You need to go breathe underwater because we think it's bad that you breathe air. You need to breathe underwater like fish. Like, what are you talking about? It's not good or bad. It's a primal instinct of an animal to eat meat. In other words, you're asking the animal to negate its very existence to fit in with society. And then when they do that, you say, good for you. So the omission of instinct is a moral virtue, which is terrifying to spread with the world. Oh, it looks like your right eye saw into the abyss, turning your mundane life upside down. I know, it's my magical eye now. My right eye can now see, if I can see spirits now. I just have to look at them with my right eye. So I lost vision in my right eye to the physical world. After training to use your new abilities with an old grandmaster living on a mountain, your fate pushes you to become a demon hunting private investigator. Have you given us the outline of our book? I'm planning on writing another book, a fantasy novel where I integrate all these cool magical teachings into the novel. Is that the start? Just the dude's chopping wood and he loses vision in one of his eyes from a wood splitting accident, but now he can see spirits with his right eye and like goes on a supernatural quest to hunt the supernatural across the world. I like where your head's at. I do. Well, Lino, if she accepted who she was, she would have stayed with Legoshi. Oh, Pitcana, so you did watch the show. You did watch the show. Does your eye hurt? Yeah. It still hurts. It hurts like a 2 out of 10. What hurts is going from dark to light. So I had an epiphany earlier today when I was in pain. I thought exploring the darkness is cool, but the more you can exist in the light, the less pain you experience. It sounded more profound earlier, but that could have been the prescriptions. I can't remember. I swear it sounded more profound. It's like one of those moments on entheogenics where you have the most profound thought and then you're like, I'm never going to remember this. It was one of those thoughts. And it had something to do with, you know, being in the dark is cool, but then it hurts really bad to get back to the light. So the more you can stay in the light, the less you have to deal with the pain of going from dark to light. I don't know. It was something like that. Dope sauce. If you deny some aspect of you that you consider negative, like an addiction or using people, you're not exercising self-control. You're just indulging in your negativity. Correct. Agreed. Yes. The show went a bit further, though, because what the show was providing as a negative aspect of the self was an inane aspect of the self. For example, the carnivores were quote unquote bad if they ate meat, but eating meat for a carnivore is like breathing air. So it's like going over to someone and saying, oh, you breathe air instead of breathing water? Well, we're going to set up an entire systemic bias against you air breathers. You should be drinking water. And so you go about your life drinking or trying to breathe oxygenated water that kind of works, but your lungs weren't designed to extract oxygen from water. So even though you still survive breathing the water air, you're like a shell of what you formerly were. That's what the show is presenting. So what you said, if you deny some aspect of you that's considered negative, like an addiction or using people or addiction, or you're not exercising self-control, you're just indulging in your negativity. Agreed. Except when the most important of your part of your comment, Dope Sauce, is that you consider negative. So if you guys want to see this comment, this was the whole reason why I made this video. If you deny some aspect of you that's considered negative. So when society considers something of you negative that's inherent to who you are as like a substantial reality of who you are, is denying that to fit in good, even though it's considered morally virtuous to do that? I would say no. You know, that's the thing. What the show presents is you're a good person even if you deny something that's objectively speaking okay to do. Like if you're a wolf, objectively speaking, it's okay for you to eat deer. But the show was presented like this: if you're a wolf, it is not okay to eat deer. And the characters in the show, the main characters of the show, who is a wolf, is the hero, because look at the self-control he's demonstrating. He even has a rabbit for a girlfriend, which gets into a whole bunch of sort of perverted, not bad, but like definitely some fringe sexual intimate relations between a tiny rabbit and a big old wolf that I'm sure you could imagine. Anywho, point being, that's praised in the show. So imagine, you know, a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, who's not really looking between the lines like you and I are, and they're going, "Wow, that wolf is the good guy." He's like, "Wow, you know, look, he denied who he was. And look how cool that was. Look how virtuous. He's the good guy." When in reality, is it, or is Netflix just trying to pull some propaganda on us? Which is where my head's at. There are people addicted to Alcoholics Anonymous, and it just replaces the alcohol. Oh yeah. I mean, we're going to be addicted to something. We're going to be addicted to something. The idea is to pick addictions that are going to propel you forward. You know, be addicted to walking, be addicted to exercising, be addicted to critiquing TV shows that you see on Netflix so that you don't fall prey to propaganda, because media is the ultimate way of steering population in a certain direction, and it's been used for thousands of years. Why do you think they used media, the word media, which comes from the Greek Medea, the goddess of illusion? Why do you think they call it that in the first place? Because it's an illusion, it's a trick, it's sorcery, but not the good kind. Well, I mean, it depends who you ask, but there's people addicted to helping others too. It's all relative. Too much of anything can be detrimental. That's well said. That's well said. That would be like asking a creator not to create. Yes, Rachel. Yes. Healing vibes for your eye. Oh, thank you, Mecha Love. It is healing. It is healing. Oh my goodness. You can. I think that you can't see my eye when I'm turned this way, but you can. And I'm looking at myself on the computer. It's like, wow, that eye still looks bad, even when I'm not looking at the screen. Trust me, it looks way worse than it feels. It felt way worse than it looks at one point, though. Also, cheers, everyone. Thank you guys for hanging out. Everyone slap that like button. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thanks for being here while we just hang out and drink oolong tea in the den and vibe and learn about alchemy and transcending and refining. You know, all the cool stuff. Well, in Beastars, they had the Carnivore War, where the carnivores wanted to not kill the herbivore, but the herbivore wanted to fight them because they thought they were the threat. Did you? I didn't. No, I just saw the show. I did not read the Bees Complex, Pitcanna. So Pitcanna, yes, that's where I'm at right now. The episode I watched last night was the Seal Homie, so I will definitely be making a part 2 to this video. I'm sad they took 4 years to put out part 3, but what's the name of the show? I came in the live very late. It's called, oh, thank you, Pitcanna. Programming the Next Generation. It's so sad. Don't help anyone out. They are out here for you, believe me. Anyway, that's our looks out you. Don't help anyone, Vivian? Don't help anyone out? I would love to help you guys. I feel like I'm helping you guys out right now, though. Surely we can't. Surely there are some people we can help. Even if it's just like a high five walking down the street. Or a nice compliment on the bus. Maybe, Vivian? Did you get hurt? Vivian, do you need a hug? You need a hug, girl? I'll give you a hug, Vivian. You need a hug. I got you. Beastars is not propaganda when the author is really playing with society through the eyes of the nature. I mean, I'm not saying Beastars absolutely is propaganda. I'm saying it feels like propaganda. Also, if you really like the show, I don't mean to like say it's a bad show. I really like this show. I still like the show. I thought it was a fascinating show. When I saw season 3 was out, I was like, fuck yeah, run it. But at the same time, I was like, this is what I do. One, I distrust Netflix. That's one thing I do. 2, I break apart what things are actually saying. And with this, and in the show, I was like, okay, obviously it's an allegory. Obviously it's not to be taken too literally, but like how, you know, because here's where I'm coming from. Well done propaganda has tons of truth in it. The whole thing is wrapped in truth, and it lures you like the idea of, you know, having to be forced into society to make it work, and the idea of, you know, controlling one's emotions in order to be a better person. Like, we could all empathize with that. Like, that's all true stuff. But the degree at which they push it, I even brought this up with ChatGPT, and it said the same thing that the write-up on the show said, which was that, the allegory thing. And I was like, all right, ChatGPT, I understand that. But that's not like humans at all. Telling a carnivore that they can't eat meat isn't like telling little Johnny that he can't become a cheerleader because he's got to become a football player, or otherwise his dad's gonna be mad. Like that's they're in the same ballpark, but they are. To tell a carnivore not to eat meat again is like what I brought up earlier. Is like saying, Keith, you're not allowed to breathe air. You have to breathe this liquid air mixture that you can survive on, but you're not going to thrive on it. You know what I mean? So it took it, in other words, it brought forth an idea that we can all relate to, but it took it another level. Again, I'm not done watching the show, but it's been 3 seasons or 2 seasons, and all of it has been this. So maybe they'll change it at the end. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I feel like they definitely, like, and like I said, I have a huge distrust in Netflix as it is. Someone fact checked me on this, but I heard that the CEO, the dude that started Netflix, was the nephew of Goebbels, Goebbels, the propagandist of the Nazi Party. I heard that was the same. I heard that dude's nephew was the person who runs Netflix. And someone fact checked me on that because I never actually fact checked that. I just kept seeing it pop up online. Anywho, I don't trust these bastards. I don't trust any of them. I don't trust any of them. Most of them. I don't trust most of them. But that is interesting, Pitcanna. Sorry, I'm playing devil's advocate to you also, Pitcanna. I hope you don't feel like I'm coming at you sideways. I just get excited. And I was using your comment as an opportunity to refine my viewpoint on the topic so that you could see better where I'm coming from. I think when you say that it's not propaganda because it's being put through the eyes of nature is one of those things where it's like we give it a free pass because it's used in the eyes of nature. Like, oh, they're just talking about wolves and bunnies. Like, you know, it's just a TV show. But this, again, the subconscious mind doesn't really know what's real and what's not. The subconscious mind just knows on or off. Is it receiving the information? Okay, then it's integrating that information. Is it not receiving the information? Okay, then it's not integrating that information. That's why it's the goal, it's the role and goal of the conscious mind to make sure that our acute awareness is focused on things that we want to become, because the conscious mind lens ego is the filter. So what we allow through that filter is what gets into the subconscious mind, and what gets into the subconscious mind long enough becomes us. Becomes us. That's why I'm very like, hey, what are you really teaching here? I understand what you on the surface level, what you're trying to demonstrate. Understand, you know, if I were to ask someone behind the scenes, they would go, "Oh, no, 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 Keith, that's not." Well, yeah, that's what it seems like, but the idea is, it's like, well, there's an idea of something, and then there was the thing itself, and the thing itself seems to be a little bit dark side. That's all. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm saying it's coming across a little dark side. It's coming across a little propaganda-esque. That's, but I'm not done with it. And it helps them by portraying it through nature, because it's a easy way in, you know. It's just to show their bunnies and stuff, like, you know. um but yeah, help friends, family, neighbor, not the show itself but how it's used by Netflix slash media. um oh, what is that? Oh, those are two people hugging. Sorry, I can't, I have to cover one eye. You can make friends by helping out someone. Dark at the core. Beastars has been around since 2013. Oh my God! Wait, the first season of Beastars was 2013. I started watching Beastars in 2020. 2020. Was it a remake? That show looks really well done, at really well animated for being 11 years old. Thank you for that piece of information, Pitcana. Let imagine if Beastars characters were were portrayed as. That's exactly what I was thinking, Jao Nunez. If Beastars, if the show was portrayed as humans and not animals, I actually had that exact thought. I was like, wow, I wonder how this show would be received if the characters were humans instead of beasts, and something else came up. Like, I don't know. I don't know, because, like I said, what they're denying, what the carnivores are asked to deny in the show is what keeps them alive. Literally keeps them alive. So, what would you, if it was a show about humans, to be in line with the first show, you would have to what, deny humans food, deny humans water. They'd have to drink like a synthetic water their whole lives instead of real water, or they'd have to eat like lab grown foods, lab grown synthetic foods their entire lives instead of whole foods grown out of the ground. Would that be would that be a fair a fair similarity, a fair segue? No, it was written as original beast complex. Oh, Pitcana, I see. Sorry, I'm getting your comments all over the place. I'm gonna write that down because I'm interested in the show. So thank you for that. Original beast complex. Okay, original beast complex. Thank you. Thank you for that, Pitcana. Pitcana, are you new to the channel? I don't remember seeing your name. Shows that portray these lessons with animals directly talk to the animal within ourselves. Noted. The animals are natural. Well, the black market exists, and herbivores contribute to the black market by supplying meat. Um, if, like, it is a human eats human world. Then it got, put a patch on your eye. It looks like it totally hurts. I can feel it. No, I will not be putting a patch on my eye. I promise you, if it would have been better for the patch to be on my eye, I would have put the patch on my eye. I wore something, but the aggravation from the patch itself hurts. And the doctor said, if you feel pain, don't do it. So yeah, I won't be putting a patch on mine anytime soon. Then shown on weekly pay para to write Beastars. Well, everyone, um, let's see. I think that was it. I had a little slideshow prepared, and we kind of slapped everything. If you're looking at Branson, um, hmm. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys enjoy the pop culture alchemical text? Like I said, I do like watching shows. So if you like pop culture references to alchemy, I would love to do more. I would love to do pop culture, um, because I watch a lot of things, and the better ones allude to these truths. The better ones allude to, how could they not? You're not going to make a good show if you're not going to allude to natural mechanics of the universe. You know, some friends become enemies, some enemies become friends. Um, you know, that what do they call that? The hero struggle with the hero, like what's that called in movies? The hero struggle. He finds himself. He has to set on a quest, but who he is at the beginning of the quest isn't the person they need to be to enact change. So they have to go through a transformation, and then they meet, you know, the wise old person, Yoda or a Gandalf or whatever, that sort of gives them a philosophy or an idea that changes who they are. Like these things are like natural mechanics of the universe, like vibration, law of polarity, cause and effect, correspondence, the mental universe. All the things we study in alchemy are should be written into our favorite books. So it's nice to talk about them and see how they manifest in in good movies, in well done art. Because I see movies and shows as a form of art, and it's nice to see them well done. It is. It's really nice to see them well done. The author is related to Baking Arthur. So what? I don't know what Baking Arthur is. Yeah, the anime left out some ideas of the manga. The hero's journey. Thank you, Rachel. Do you? Reading manga is one thing I don't do. I don't think I've read any manga before. I've always just watched the anime. I've never read the manga. Is that? I know I'm not the best anime person. I'm low on the totem pole as far as diehard anime people go, but I'm really high on the totem pole as far as your average citizen. I think, as far as anime goes. You guys have anything to share about ideas or any shows we should go over in the future, or any movies you'd like to go over in the future? Um, it's good because it's nice to. Alchemy is cool and all. Hermetics is cool and all. You know, learning the nature of the reality is cool and all. But when we get to see it played out, even if it's in a fictional world, it's nice to see connections being made. It's nice to see how the refinement of a character can look. It's nice to see how the transformation of the psyche and soul and spirit can look, even if it's in a, you know, made up realm. It adds some texture to our studies. You know what I mean? It adds some grit and texture to our studies. Eyes wide shut? Wow. Doctor Strange? Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange might be a little too easy, but we can do that. Specifically, the mask party. When adults use the mask party, they have stopped eating meat. Eyes wide shut, Doctor. What else? Oh, we could do like the never-ending story. The never-ending story. That would be a fun one. I would love to rewatch the never-ending story and the nothingness. That one's probably loaded with philosophies. Lord of the Rings. I mean, I'm always looking for an excuse to rewatch the Lord of the Rings. Don't get me wrong, baby. I'll rewatch Lord of the Rings all day. We might just have to do a marathon, an extended edition marathon of Lord of the Rings. We could do Supernatural. I mean, Man of Letters, of course, Claro. The Dune Prophecy series? Oh, should I watch that? Is the Dune Prophecy series worth watching, everybody? The Mountain of God? Oh, the Dark Crystal? Gangster. Dude, what's the new one? I had fully intended to actually do a series on the Dark Crystal. The newer Dark Crystal show on Netflix. With the Skeksis? Oh my god, with the Skeksis? Oh man, I swear to God, that's Dark Crystal, right? No, the Dark Crystal is the OG one from the 80s. Which one is the one that just put out, the series? Emerald City. Videodrome. I gotta write some of these down. Give me a second. So we have... One second. New notes. We have Dark Crystal. We have Dark Crystal. We have, what else did you say? Never-ending Story. Never-ending Story, unless you guys don't want that one. What else do we have? Pitcanna had Videodrome. I don't know what Videodrome is. What in God's name is Videodrome? What happened to the other guy? Brandon Plunk. What other guy? The Mountain of God. The Mountain of God. Oh, Dune Prophecies. Dune Prophecies. Crimes of the Future? Is that a thing? Crimes of the come on, future. Hey, Pitcanna, I'm literally gonna go back in and probably finish Beastars tonight. Last night I left off with the panda bear, talking about how everyone just eats each other and they live in harmony. And I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere. So we can long distance watch that together if you want. About 10 minutes after I finish this live. Crimes of the Future, just being dumb. Hope you heal up. Oh, Brandon. I swear. The old Keith, the old man of letters that you once... The old man of letters that you once knew is no longer here. I am the new Keith, blessed with the gift of sight / blindness. You know, it's a good story. Some friends become enemies. Some enemies become friends. I lose the sight of my eye, but my spiritual eye opens up a little wider. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. Also, I'm really loving my new microphone setup. Like, I can do ASMR stuff. We could do that movie Signs. The aliens, the noise the aliens make in Signs. Oh my goodness. I don't know who I am sometimes. Especially after being hit in the eye with a piece of wood. Is that so? We have Dark Crystal, Never-ending Story, Videodrome. Was that a movie? Was that something? Or I don't know. I wrote that down. The Mountain of God, Crimes of the Future. Oh, the Hellraiser series, dude. Pitcanna, you're on another level, dude. I have a feeling that I actually didn't watch Hellraiser. Cheers, everyone, by the way. Cheers. Thank you for hanging out. I'm drinking oolong tea, if you're curious. I am Keith the White. Oh, Oath. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. See, this is what I was going for here. You guys are like, Keith, you're back. And I'm like, Keith. Ah, yes. I was once called that. Like, Keith, yes, Keith, man of letters, yes, that is a name I am known by, isn't it? Oh, yes, it's been, yes. I am Keith the White. No longer Keith the Gray, that's funny. Well played, Oath. Well played, Oath. Cam. All right. We're making Lord of the Rings jokes, in case you're wondering. You're like, Keith, you know, white, you're dark as hell, bro. What do you mean, Keith the White? As in Lord of the Rings squad. That's all. Todo bien. Todo bien. Todo bien. The veil of form that conceals the face of God can only be cut by the sword of enlightened spirit. And Born a King, I feel like we have conversations and then you just drop some straight up biblical shit on us from left field. We can be like, hey, I really love cutting up cucumbers and putting lemon, salt, and chili on them and then mixing them up in a bowl and maybe topping it with a little tahini or something like that. And you're like, the demons will lay waste to the soul that is not refined by spirit. I'm like, whoa, bro, I was just trying to have some fucking micheladas and shit. Like, we came in super hot on me. Labyrinth. Labyrinth is a good one. I love it, though. Born a King. I do. Don't ever stop. Don't ever stop being you, boo-boo. Keep doing that. I love it. I do. The Labyrinth. The Labyrinth. Holy Mountain. Okay. Well, we got lots of stuff. I feel like at least 2 of these are entire series that we would have to watch. So I feel like we got to end this live. My eye's starting to hurt. The Tylenol's wearing off. The Tylenol's wearing off. Well, with that being said, everyone, I hope that we were able to make your day just a little bit better. I hope I provided you, if not insight, maybe just, you know, a cool place to hang out and chill and learn a little bit about hermetics and alchemy and whatnot. I'm pretty much done. Oh, those noodles? Wow.
Actually, here,
How hot is the bowl?
plate. It's not too hot, but we might.
Oh my god, it smells official. It's funny because we were talking about anime and now I've got just some straight up glass noodles with some chopsticks.
Oh my god.
We got glass noodles and chopsticks. So we might have to turn this into a mukbang until we're done.
I think you'll love it, Len.
Who wants a post Beastar mukbang? Yes, you did. I did what? Keep spraying knowledge, never respect. Oh yes, Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, is anyone eating food right now? Is anyone enjoying food or enjoying some tea? I didn't plan for this to be an anime night. I was just watching Beastars and I just happened to find the oolong tea in the cupboard that I thought I lost. And my girl made noodles that we got from friggin' Koreatown. And it all just happened this way. It was not planned. I swear. I swear. Let's see how they are. No, I don't fast often. I actually fasted for the first time maybe like a year ago now. It's been a while. I did a 3-day distilled water fast. I did a 3-day distilled water fast and it was great. It was great. I enjoyed it. I should 100% do it again. I do the, what do you call it? Like the mini fasts. Like I don't ever eat breakfast. Ever. I eat breakfast like once a month, maybe. I usually don't eat until about 12 to 1 o'clock. Not on purpose. I just tend not to be hungry until that time. But they say that's considered a fast, right? Like if you eat at 8 at night and don't eat till like 1 o'clock the next day, that's considered, what do they call it? That's a certain type of fasting, right? A mini fast or something like that. If you want the whole story after ending of part 1 of the final season. You make quality content. I hope you blow up on this stuff. Man, I hope so too. If you guys would like to support me in my journey to blowing up on this platform, feel free to share us. And you know, if you're in communities that are relevant and you don't want to feel like a weirdo for posting a weirdo, then post this weirdo. or like, comment. All of that helps tremendously. It really does. It helps. Honestly, you guys just being here is a phenomenal help. We had upwards of like 20 people in this live, and I was actually talking about stuff, not just eating noodles, which is great. That's partly why I want to do more pop culture stuff, is to grow the channel more. I feel like I've been caught up in like the dusty librarian section of YouTube. So I want to be more hip. That's why I was like, you know what? I'm watching Beastars right now. It's not necessarily a huge show, I don't think, but whatever. I'll do a little pop thing. Maybe I'll get a new audience in here. I'll be able to relate alchemy and what we've been practicing to, you know, something modern. And why do I feel like something's touching my head? Is there anything? Did something just touch my head in the camera? Super sketch. I just felt something touch the top of my head. Intermittent fasting. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Mecca. Thank you. Anywho, yeah. I'm doing my best. If you guys have any ideas for me, like, okay, they got a really good idea. Make videos on this, you know? Make it hip and make it very relevant. Trendy stuff works too. I might do more trendy stuff. I should do more trendy stuff. Aliens? Joel Nunes. You want me to talk about aliens? I'll talk about aliens, dude. You want to talk about aliens? We can talk about aliens. I do hope we can look at sigils again. Yeah, I plan on doing more sigil stuff, Rachel. Thank you for that. I'm gonna write that down too. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because like I said, when we went over sigils, when we were reading Chaos Magic, it actually put me hip to a lot of stuff that I left out with the last sigil that I made. Particularly in sacrificing extreme emotion to the sigil in order to charge it up so they can do what we want it to do. So I think I'll, you know, make like a nice solid 10 to 15 minute pre-recorded video, not a live, but like a concise, well shot video on sigil making, with the science behind sigil making sort of thing, where I try to tie in as much quote unquote as much science, practical science, as I can to the art of sigil making, and see what we can come up with. So thank you for that. That's a great video. That has possibilities of, you know, virality too. So thank you for mentioning that. Thank you. Yeah, we'll do more gardening videos. I will definitely be, we're gonna have to call it herbology so that we stay on brand. We're gonna be doing more herbology videos on the channel. My favorite things are like fermenting homemade fertilizers for your plants using kefir grains or naturally captured lactic acid bacteria or things of that nature, and fermenting your own, you know, fish emulsion, fermenting yard scraps into really potent biologically active fertilizers, or going to the beach if you live near the ocean and fermenting your own seaweed extract for the plants. Like, I love that shit. That's where my head's at with herbology. That and knowledge of local flora, and how to use it. You know, especially where I live, we have 100 varieties of sage: white sage, black sage, purple sage, hummingbird sage, orange sage, Jerusalem sage. There's just, you know, all the mugworts. We have like 4 or 5 varieties of mugwort, and I just put out a short video on I went hunting for black walnuts for parasite cleanse, because I did a parasite cleanse recently with black walnut. And that was cool. I had no idea that black walnut husk was such a potent anti-parasitic. And I had no idea that we had so much of it growing in California. We have the California black walnut. A lot of you guys are on the East Coast. You guys have the Eastern black walnut, which is more potent, but it's the same thing, right? I can make my extract just as potent as the Eastern by um, evaporating twice as much alcohol, so it's more potent. You know what I mean? So that's we herbology. This is about to be Harry Potter, baby. We have sigils class and the dark arts. We're gonna have herbology class with what's your name? Who's the lady that teaches herbology in Harry Potter? What's her name? Sprouts, Professor Sprout. We're gonna be Professor Sprout. We're gonna be freaking Dumbledore. We're gonna be Snape, concocting potions. If I can find my still, I used to do a bunch of distillation. I lost one of my parts, so I haven't done that in a few years. We're gonna be Snape potions class. What else are we gonna be doing? Who else is in there? McGonagall with our hermetics and alchemy will be our Professor McGonagall, R.I.P. I think that about covers most of the channel. Music? There was no music. Was there?
Give you some lemon.
Ooh, lemon and tapatio sauce?
I know. I don't have any other chile, but.
Todo bien.
Here you go, love.
Wait. Thanks, boo boo.
Have you tried it yet?
I have. It's bomb.
Yay.
I have black walnut bark. Black one, the most. So here's your herbology. Juglone is the phytochemical inside of your black walnut trees that provide the anti-parasitic properties. It also does a whole bunch. It oxygenates the blood. It repairs liver damage. It's an antioxidant. It's beautiful. Juglone that comes from the black walnut tree is a beautiful chemical. It's found in highest concentration in the green husk. So before they turn black, they're mature green. You get the green husks, and that has the highest concentration of juglone inside of it. The whole tree has it, the leaves, the bark, the roots, the fruit itself. Like chaga. Man of Letters 2025 is sounding amazing. Oh, thanks you guys, because I actually didn't do this because I thought, oh, you have to have a niche. You don't want to confuse the algorithm, which is why I kept myself to a dusty old librarian, which I like the vibe of the dusty old librarian, man. I like it. It's chill, it's deep, it's rich, it's, you know, kind of mysterious, but at the same time, I'm over it. I can't. If I'm gonna be successful, clearly I've run this channel for a few years and we're not exploding, so I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want. Well, I'm gonna do well whatever the hell I want, and pray, and pray we catch a wave, you know. Dope sauce, osha root? No, I don't know what osha root is. Tell me what osha root is. What family is it in? Making medicinal mushroom potions? Unfortunately, we don't have too many mushrooms around here. I live in Southern California. It's super dry. We don't get many mushrooms around here. I just stumbled upon a chaga mushroom growing on a dead oak tree in my neighborhood, and I was on cloud 9. Like, are you kidding me? I thought these were like only in deep forests, but no, this was right here, growing on some oak. I left it to grow because it wasn't very big. I don't think anyone knows what it is, so I'm just gonna let it get bigger before I harvest it. But the mushroom stuff is gonna be hard for me to do on this channel, unless I take a trip somewhere, you know. But we will be making potions. I'll teach you guys how to make extracts, ethanol extracts, vinegar extracts. I'm gonna teach you guys how to make your own vinegar, how to make your own alcohol. I've been making my own vinegar here. I've been making my own, can I say that? Am I allowed to say that? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not. I'll teach you what I can. I'll teach you what I can. I will. As far as herbology goes. Are mushrooms considered herbology, by the way? Like I was going to end this live like 15 minutes ago, but we've just been eating noodles talking about mushrooms. Honestly, all joking aside, eating noodles and talking about mushrooms is one of my I mean, it's never been an active favorite of mine, but saying it out loud is definitely is definitely certainly a favorite of mine. I'm on that Hobbit life now. I'm in my cottage core Hobbit era, and I've been there a few years, and I'm loving it. I really am. I'm just all about foraging in the woods for herbs and talking to the Fae and making homemade pumpkin ale. We grew pumpkins, sugar pumpkins, and made homemade pumpkin ale this year. It tastes amazing. Eating noodles and shit. Homemade cheese. You know how it is. Oh, of course, Mika Love. I'm actually sorry I haven't done it more. I have a lot of things to share about plants. I love plants so much, just as if not more than our hermetic and alchemical teachings. They're very similar. You know what I mean? You almost can't separate the two, huh? No pun intended. Cottage core for life, baby. I know, for real though. I've cottage core for life. Oath. I hope. I hope you know how serious I am when I say that. I feel like you are too. We're there. We're there. Maybe 2025 we can have a man of letters gathering and camp out somewhere like a mellow spot. We have a lot of mellow campgrounds around here. We can have a fire. I can invite some of my musician homies. We can like have little jams around the fire, drink ale, merry make, camp out by the river. Hmm. The viejitas. That's nice. That's funny. The viejitas. Is that little old women? Is that what viejitas means? Thank you for your herbal teachings. It's great for. Thank you for the plant tip, dope sauce. OSHA is like, yeah. We have the cool thing about that is that people a lot of times go online and they hear, oh, this exotic plant is good for this, this, and that. But it comes from Australia. And realistically, there's every plant is an antibacterial to a certain degree because that's how plants protect themselves. Plants can't wash themselves with soap. Plants can't get up and move out of a location. So every essential oil is an antibacterial oil. That's literally the role of essential oils in plants is to kill microbes that are trying to eat the plant. So people will say, "Oh, I'm selling lavender oil. Did you know that lavender oil is an antibacterial?" It's like, of course it is. How else do you think these plants protect themselves? If you sage, all of the sages, mugwort, your black walnuts, all your trees. Some are better than others. Like black walnut for anti-parasitic are better than others, but that's why I want to do courses, or not courses, because I can't do courses on local flora for wherever you live because I'm not there. But I highly encourage people to go on a walk and identify plants in your immediate vicinity. Identify plants that are good for cleaning wounds, antiseptic plants, plants that you can eat during any season. Are there edible berries? Do you have a lot of oak trees around you? Okay, well if you needed to, you could live off the oak tree, off the acorns. Do you know how to wash your acorns so they don't poison you when you eat them? That's another conversation. There's a lot. There's a lot. Point being, my interest these past couple of years when people are like, "Hey, what about this plant? You know this plant?" I've been trying to focus on the ones that are here with me that I actually have access to when the zombie apocalypse hits. Because that's my herbology. The extent of my herbology is when the zombies come, what's good? That's where my relation to herbology is. Where I'm literally guerrilla planting fruit trees along the creek I have a creek within a mile from my house. Bigger than a creek. It's like a small river that rages when it rains. Anywho, I'm planting tamarind, I'm planting loquat, I'm planting avocado, I'm planting banana, I'm planting, I think that's it so far. Some medicinal copal trees for like antiseptic properties, and fire starting and resin producing trees, so that you know all the various uses of high quality resins. Like I'm legit prepping for the zombie apocalypse. I know it sounds silly, but I'm being dead serious. Me too. Me too, Oath. I also used the picture this app. That thing is glorious. It's not always accurate though, but it's glorious. We have fingers crossed for you, Vivian. We do. But it's a strong antibacterial use for external wounds too. There's a poultice with that and white sage. That was the main thing. Where do you live, Dope Sauce? So do you live in California? If OSHA grows where white sage grows, then it grows around me, because white sage is all around where I live. I live in Southern California, and there's white sage everywhere. Hmm. I didn't know white sage grew into northern New Mexico. Hmm. That's news to me. Yeah, I thought white sage was way over here. Anywho, I need to go inside. You guys are crazy, just hanging out with me over here eating noodles and shit. I love you for it, but you're crazy. Um, Thank you guys so much. I don't have work tomorrow, so I might do some plant stuff. Maybe I'll put out a garden video for you guys, a nice little herbology video for you guys. I appreciate your attention and the time you've given this evening, and I again hope I made your day a little bit better. And I'm gonna finish watching that last season of Beastars. So if you guys want to watch it, or watch the next show that we're watching, I think I might watch Dark Crystal. I think I might watch Dark Crystal, and then we can do that. I've been wanting to. I like that one. Made me feel good for some reason. I enjoyed watching that. So if you guys want to get a head start, and yeah, Curtis Knight. I was fighting a cave troll. Curtis Knight was fighting a cave troll, and I didn't realize he had +6 armor, and I thought he was still at +3 armor, and I lost the fight with the cave troll, and it bashed up my eye pretty good. But yeah. All right. Gratitude, everyone. Love you guys. I'll see you soon. Okay. Thank you for the love and support. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Like it for me. Help me crack that code, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. Goodbye. Goodbye. Good night, Dee Dee.